What's up, everybody? This is The Overlook. My name is Corey. This is Kev. We talk about One Piece every damn day, and today is Mugiwara Monday, where we talk
Your
about the Straw Hat Pirates. We are on a pre-time skip rush, I guess. No,
rotation.
yeah, not really sure what made us start doing this, but we kind of just started
hmm
doing this. Check the playlist. There will not be a link. Go find it. Um, today we are talking about none other than Cuddy Flam, Franky,
Cuddy Flip.
the shipwright of the Straw Hat Pirates. So just a little bit about his background, and then we are going to go into just pre-time skip, some of his fights, some of his character. If you are new to this channel or this playlist, when it comes to characters like Franky, Robin, who don't have as many actual fights in the pre-time
hmm
skip, we more talk about their characters, potentials, some of their themes and introductions. People kind of like Zoro, I believe Usopp too. We kind of just sprinted through every single fight that they've ever been in. So we have two different styles. Whichever one's your favorite, let us know. Let us know your favorite Frankie moment in the comments below, and let's get started. Um, yeah, Iron Man. He's Iron Man. That's his epitaph.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it was
guess I never
that
thought about that.
I get 100%. I was the same way. I always just thought his epithet was just Cuddy Flam, but that I guess that's just like what his previous underground name was.
No, that's his birth name.
That's his name. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't. Oh, really?
Frankie's name is Cuddy Flam. His underground
Hmm.
name is Frankie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got him mixed up. Okay, gotcha.
Iron Man Frankie is the shipwright of the Straw Hat Pirates and one of the senior officers of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Born Cuddy Flam, he chose to go by his nickname of Frankie until eventually permanently discarding his true name per the request of Iceberg to hide his identity. Remember, his parents were
Oh, right, right.
pirates, so he didn't want to be
Yeah,
known in
they were
relation.
they were pillars of the underground as
Yeah,
well.
and then he was also on trial too, so he had to go underground as Frankie. From the South Blue, he was a shipwright with Tom's Workers. We talked about that a little bit about a little bit. He augmented himself into a cyborg after getting hit by a sea train, which is crazy.
That is
The
crazy.
backstories in pre-time skip are pretty crazy.
hmm
Um, he's introduced in the Water Seven. He was basically one of the last people. Not really last people. I guess that was a CP9 that kind of told him like, "Hey, this ship ain't coming back." Talking
Yeah.
about the Going Merry. Um, but he's the one that made the Thousand Sunny. So he has gained a. Currently, he has. Okay, after Endy's Lobby, he had a $44 million bounty, and then I guess that's it for pre-time skip. We'll just stop there. But yeah, Kev, Frankie, thoughts? What are you thinking?
First impressions, I thought he was gonna be cool. I think the cola thing was a really interesting addition to a power structure. I just really loved how his family kept taking Usopp and whooping his ass like early on. Um, I just loved how Frankie has just augmented himself over and over again. I was a big Mortal Kombat fan growing up. Reminds me a lot of Jax, that kind of stuff. Just adding in where you feel like you are short in a category, you just remove it and make it better. And I think Frankie is really cool when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I think the Frankie family are just like they're those characters that you don't care about or like, and like towards the end when they're all
Until
raiding
yeah, yeah.
uh Endy's Lobby, you're kind of like, no, like, okay, come on, the Giants with the like eggshell
hmm
stuff, they gotta do something, right? Like all these guys gotta do something, right? And they all kind of play their part, which is kind of cool about the Frankie family. I am glad that we don't see them anymore. Don't really need to.
Sure,
They can read the
sure.
newspaper. You know what I mean? Uh, I did not like Frankie when I first saw him because the swim trunks I thought were weird, and I thought the mask was weird. You know what I mean? Like when he first showed up, I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this
Yeah,
guy?
no, I
Um,
feel that.
but he also did the super thing, which I wasn't really a fan of, but like now
Yeah.
I appreciate Franky and all of his like weird quirks that make him Franky. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
The cola thing was also a little strange to me, but I mean,
Yeah. Did you didn't like that? I thought that was
I didn't
interesting.
dislike it, but I just thought it was like a
Yeah.
little strange that they chose to do cola. But I mean, they use it. That's the thing about some of these concepts with Oda is like he commits to them fully and makes them like real, not real, like grounded in the world that it's in. Like nobody thinks twice. Like they're like, oh shit, cola can do all that. Even Vegapunk's like, oh damn, cola can do all that. So you're like, okay, Vegapunk's impressed. This must be something.
And
Yeah.
I mean, a little theory here is I think he is somehow related to Vega. I think his passions really align. If it's not just straight lineage connection, I mean, it's his inherited will. Like Luffy has Rogers and Ace had Whitebeards. I think he has Vegapunks, which really makes me sad that Egghead wasn't more of a rise Frankie here. But now that we have somebody on the crew, I think
And who knew that Egghead was gonna be a sneak Kuma
yeah,
story?
yeah.
But for
Pre
anybody
time
who's not
skip,
at
pre time
Egghead
skip.
yet, uh, let's just talk about pre-time skip Frankie's pre-time skip. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
when he was a kid, we talked about it a little bit before. He got left by his family who were pirates, and they kind of left him there at Water 7. Water 7 itself is just like
hold on, my dogs are fighting. Go ahead and carry on.
no worries.
Okay.
Like Water 7 itself is like a giant train yard. You know what I mean? Like the people that live there all kind of work like within the train yard area. It's like a big factory hub. You know what I'm saying? Where a bunch of stuff is always going like in and out as far as commerce wise. And so it's like a place where a lot of people find themselves when their ships break down. A lot of pirate crews, just I don't know, merchants and everybody like that alike. So like Water 7, they are like, if you have money, like we don't really care about all that. Just pay your money, we'll fix your ship. It's like, you know, it's a garage for, it's a mechanic. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's where he met. Well, that's where he met Big Tom. I almost said Black Tom. That's where he met Tom. Tom was the fishman, the head shipwright. He worked on the Oro Jackson, which was the Pirate King's Goldie Rogers ship, I believe.
Yes,
You said it was made out of.
the wood from the Adam from
Yeah.
Elbath.
Talk
Yes.
about that a little bit.
Yeah. Very few ships that we know of so far are made out of this same wood. Frankie makes it for the Sunny.
You're talking about Tom, though.
Tom made it for the Oro Jackson, and I believe Tom also helped make the Noah. So this is just special wood coming from the tree. We'll find out more when we reach Elbath, obviously in the manga. But it's something that's has some mystical something to it to make it just stronger than everything else.
So, as far as like shipwrights, that's also where we get what's his name? Ice Pops. That guy's name?
Ice Pop,
Yeah, that's what Luffy calls him.
Iceberg,
Iceberg. Yeah, Iceberg.
iceberg. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Luffy calls him
I was
Ice
like, Ice
Pops.
Pops. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you.
Iceberg was also a shipwright there when they were kids.
Mhm.
Tom, he got in trouble with the government because they found out he made the ship for the Pirate King. They're like, hey, well, if you made the weapon and he's the Pirate King, then you're just as guilty. Then he's like, what about all the people that made your guns? Are they guilty? You know what I'm saying? They're like,
Exactly.
not a good enough excuse. You're dying. And he's like, all right, if I'm dying with gusto. Remember that was like his thing. He was, I'm doing it with gusto. Frankie was there. There was like, oh, that kid too. And he goes, oh no, like when they're taking Tom away, using one of the sea trains, Frankie tries to stop them for some reason, jumps in front of the sea train and gets hit.
Yeah.
Kind of
That was in
crazy.
CP9 and them trying to take that.
Yeah, that was like before they arrived. So this is like when Frankie is still a little bit younger. Somehow he's floating out in the ocean and he's able to build himself back up. Like once he gets back on shore, like he's able to like fix himself. So this is like twice that we see Franky like repair himself when he's on the verge of death. So it's like, what can you do to other people? Like, why don't you make pacifistas?
Great question. I always thought it was weird because you got to like I take a second and think about the process that he had to go through. So he had to like have like his leg off, right? And there's no anesthesia. I mean, Franky is a tough son of a bitch, bro. And it's crazy to like think about him like conducting surgery on
Well, yeah, let's
himself.
talk about some of his weapons that he has that he had to conduct the surgery. His weapons left, his weapons right. Two of my favorite techniques in the whole damn show, and it's nothing but like a boxing glove that pops out and like a fucking machine gun in his palm. And it's like, yo, what? These ain't techniques, bro. Yo.
I mean, honestly though, he's all about the memes. I mean, you got to think about like his lights that he uses on Fishman Island.
Yeah,
It's just his nipple stars that he just pops them out and he's just like he just
I think
brightens it up.
I think it got a little bit more egregious with time. I
Yes,
think back
yes.
then he was just a guy with huge forearms, with tattoos, and he's supposed to be the American symbol. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So yeah, like Oda said, he's the guy from America. So it's like, you know,
His hairstyles are always on point. But he really becomes just more of like an Iron Man mechanic style. Like he just makes cool boats. He makes cool little Franky tanks, and then he just really modifies himself. So not much to him yet, but I mean there may be something in the
but
work.
I mean, as far as like what he does have, I mean, we say it's not much to him, but at the end of the day, cyborgs are fucking impressive. Like
Yes.
remember when we first see CP9, I'm kind of going through like his ability part. We see they're using all of their techniques, like their iron body technique and all that. Franky was still able to pick up Bluno and like by the face, like, and do the same thing that Zoro did to Miss Monday. We talked about that in our last video. Check that out in our Zoro video from last week. But yeah, Franky's like, how strong do you think Franky is pre-time skip? Like, let's equate this to something. Like, just his raw physical strength.
Hmm. I don't think that's his role. Like I feel like it's hard to put him up against somebody like in a fight because
I'm
that's
not
just I
talking
don't
about
think that's
fight. I'm talking about
oh
physical
just
strength. Like, you remember
physical
how?
strength.
I
I
mean,
think he would be up there with
look at it this way. Look at it this way. Here's my situation. Remember when Luffy had to go? It was the final stages of saving Robin, and he had to punch that door down, and he had to use gear third. We didn't see what it looked like. Do you think Franky could have punched that door down?
Sure. Pre-time skip, I don't think so, but post-time skip, I think he's much stronger.
Yeah.
Pre-time, I feel like he didn't really have much modification. I think we were still finding out what he should be, and I think Oda was probably still figuring that out.
I feel you. I like when he pulls off his like skin glove.
Yeah, like his face, like his face will pop off.
But I just like the skin glove. He's like, I'm just gonna hit you with my robot hand. It's like, all right, that's that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, like how like Cyborg from the DC universe always clicks with me. It's like how much of you is human still, and that may be his end goal as he turns into the Iron Giant.
I think he is. Well, he is the tank. You know what I mean? So he isn't
Sure.
supposed to have any real spectacular abilities for the group. He's just supposed to be able to take hits and stand the line. And so those are two things that he does really well. I think it was kind of, they sealed the deal for him being a Straw Hat when he burned the what's the weapon?
Pluton's blueprints.
Pluton's blueprints. Yeah.
Yes.
I think after that they were like, well, you gotta hang out with us.
Yeah, I mean that shows a strong will. I mean, if you want to run that down, it's like you can either sell it for massive amounts of money, or he's smart enough to recreate it and become very powerful. And he decided a third option was like, nah, fuck it, it's too powerful to be in the wrong hands. I'm gonna try it now.
And just
But
a lot of people aren't completely sold that he didn't recreate it. We have the Thousand Sunny.
look, inspiration is you don't know if you saw something and then recreated it in your mind. He read the blueprints though, so that knowledge is still there. Does he create Pluton or maybe something
Or
to
facets
neutralize
of it.
it? Yeah, who knows? I don't think he's not like Tony Stark where he creates weapons that can be
But we saw him
used
integrate
against
like
fans.
the CP0, like the PX0. I'm sorry, the
Hmm.
PX0, the Kumas.
Hmm.
We saw him start to utilize their energy abilities like right after he got the like right
Oh,
after
the radical beam?
the post time skip. He started using like the radical beam and everything. It's
Yeah.
like he had that, I guess, technology available to him. So it's like, I mean, you were in Vegapunk's lab. You have the blueprints. Like, is the only thing you're waiting for is the availability of that technology? So I don't know. I feel like Frankie still has a big part in post time skip.
I do as well, and especially with the addition of the Vegapunk uh, Lilith to our team, I think that may open up a lot of different avenues as far as technology advancements go.
And the
I think
Sunny.
that's really, and I mean, I think the Sunny could also already be Pluton. I think maybe Pluton's been destroyed or whatever. It's not actually below one. Um, but who knows? I could be wrong. But I think
Um,
Frankie's going to be Frank. I mean, we cannot forget Frankie met the Pirate King. He created his ship. He has a long history of being with the Pirate Kings, and I think we can't forget that when it comes to his ship
well, I
is
can't
one of
say
the
he had a
ancient weapons.
long. Can we say he had a long history?
No, but he like as far as Pluton as a ship, he's a shipwright, and he's now created both. He helped create the Oro Jackson, and he's created the Sunny. It's just hard to not connect all four of those dots that he's kind of going to be the ship guy.
Yeah.
And knowing Pluton's a ship, unless it changes, of course, that's that. But knowing Pluton's a ship, I just can't help but think of Frankie when it comes to.
Yeah. As far as like the rest of the pre-time skip, we go to Thriller Bark.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say he plays a significant role in Thriller Bark. I think
Agreed.
because Water 7 and Ennie's Lobby were so Frankie focused, they kind of put him on the back pedal. And this was a very big Brook arc, so he kind of got regulated to hanging out with Robin. Doing his weapons. He was fighting zombies.
Yeah.
He also helped against Ors Jr., but I mean, everybody did.
Yep.
When we go to Sabaody, he also, at that point, they were so underpowered compared to their opposition that he also didn't do anything. But as far as like Frankie as like a character, he is like an emotional core for that team. Like Luffy and Zoro say over and over again that they are not heroes. Like they're not here to help the little guy. Frankie is. It
Yes.
takes one sob story and Frankie's there fighting.
I mean, two great post time skip I'll talk about is when he's on Punk Hazard and he's helped rescuing the kids. The kids are immediately doing the super dance with him. He's really about saving the little guy. And then with the Seraphim S Snake, she started like, ow, ow, ow. And then he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to hurt you. Look, Frankie's here to rescue.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Straw
Tom
Hats
helped
need
him
somebody like
when
that.
he was younger
Yes.
and needed help, and so he does the same.
Love it.
The
Love
Tontadas.
it.
That's what I
Yes.
thought you were going to say. That when they made their
Oh,
big
no.
speech about what's been happening in Dressrosa, and he straight up called Luffy, he's like, y'all can go if you want. I'm staying
gonna
here. And Luffy's like,
Yeah.
no, we staying.
No. You hear, we hear.
No,
You
you
must know
got it.
that.
You got it. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good balance because
Yeah.
Luffy needs somebody like.
But yeah, to give him like some perspective, like, yo, I know we're just jumping from shit, like from island to island, but
Yeah.
this is real. I ain't Brooke.
Yeah.
I ain't just gonna laugh with you.
Aunties?
But yeah, very very cool. I wish he would wear pants. But I think we're way past that.
I feel like it's just to kind of show that. I mean, because at this point in our story, he's no longer just like a person. He's a robot, and I feel like that's even his legs are robotic. So I think I don't know that to me it's out of my mind now. It's like he's no longer human. I don't
Oh,
even
you don't
think
even.
about. No,
Oh,
I don't even look at him as a human
oh
anymore.
no no no
That's the
no no
thing.
no. So this is what you think he went from cyborg. There's a line. There's a line. It's
Yeah.
cyborg to android. Android's when you have more machine parts than human parts. Cyborg's when you
I
got
would.
more human parts than machine parts.
Would you name Emmett as a cyborg or an android?
I would call him a
He's
robot.
robot. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the end goal for Frankie here.
Frankie,
So
just be 100%. Hey, well, I'm putting him in the android category right now because he's still got the heart of a human. You know what I'm
sure,
saying?
cool. I think he can still die. So
And he
yeah,
can still
I'm right
bleed.
there with you.
From
Yeah.
the fights with Senior Pink, that's post time skip, but we have seen Frankie bleed. So as long as Frankie's bleeding, and not leaking cola, um,
That's what it is. Yeah, it's not bleeding. It's leaking cold.
but he doesn't really have too many more abilities or anything like that. Pre time skip, post time skip, he definitely gets like a larger pool. We'll also talk about like the Thousand Sunny that they create. So he made it now. But I think we'll wait till a post time skip
Sure. You
just to
think
flesh that
he
out.
has hockey? That he's even shown hockey yet?
In the post time skip, and they did confirm that yeah, Frankie did
Oh,
punch him with
okay.
hockey when Luffy was saying that, like, hey, you guys are hit with hockey. Yeah, Frankie was
Oh,
one of
okay.
them.
Cool. I didn't. I actually in the recent chapters that you're talking about.
You remember when he inflated and then
Yeah. And like
Bonnie?
Bonnie, Sanji, and okay. I didn't know that. I thought that was still a question. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Frankie has hockey. Let's go.
All right, now confirm. Somebody on the internet confirmed that. I'm 95. Don't. I feel like once you like say it like that, I'm like, yo, well, okay, don't put that on me. But I think Frankie has hockey. I'm 100% advocate of Frankie having hockey because why the hell not?
I mean I agree. It's something that you can develop. So it's like hard to imagine that you're just not around it all day that you don't somehow develop. I don't.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Look, you're the only dude on the ship that don't got hockey.
He's the only dude on the ship that don't got hockey.
Like
That
even Usopp got observation. Like you're the only dude on the ship with no hockey. You 46.
damn.
You're
That's a good
46.
point. That's a good point. Even Usopp got hockey.
Actually, I don't think he's 46. I think that's how old Jinbei is. Yeah, he's 36.
He's 30.
Yeah. Well, 34 pre-time skip. But that being said, we're just talking about Frankie. We talk about all the Straw Hat characters pre-time skip. We are talking about all of the Blackbeard captains for Titanic Tuesday, where we talk about the 10 Titanic captains. Tomorrow is Vasco's shot. So check that
Yep.
playlist. I think we've done about 5 of them already. So
Think so
we're on
as
the
well.
back half. After this, we might be doing Revolutionary Army. We might be doing we could do another faction. You guys let us know who you guys want us to talk about in the comments below. Let us know your favorite Frankie power, favorite Frankie moment, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Peace.